Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays. Yes, great, we're up to date. Your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression. When you're going through hard times, you're going through death. You can't Google that. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in a day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways. And it wants to control you, pulling these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. What existed for me was okay, man, how am I going to make this work? And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything is accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You got to work hard. I can't remember this paragraph to pass this test in the military. And that's how I started learning. I realize if I keep going back and going back and going back until the just becomes your mind was saying, okay, we're gonna figure it out. Because he is not going to stop. It's like, I'm gonna try one more time. No. It's just like, long clock goes off. Going back. I can't read right going back. I gave myself no way out in my mind. Realize that this okay, we're gonna adapt and overcome now. Like a lot of people say, trying hard. Your mind knows he's got guys lying. There's no truth behind it. When I was a Navy SEAL training people. How are you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 hell weeks. In 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I talked about the new norm relative in the $7 month place, and I was growing up for a short period of time. I loved it. I know you're different. That was my norm. Once we moved down that place, we moved to 2 hours and $36 month place. I've never want to go back to that little pieces. But if he goes back to a $7 place, you realize this is where I live. So, I got your mind, says Roger, that this whole so now is going to Navy SEAL training for 18 months. And going back to all the hard parts over and over again. I told myself after the first time, and it was gonna be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I say, you know what, this is my new norm. So, my mind said it's like going to work. Like you go to work, you put your suit and tie on. I go into suffering every day. Everyday suffering, being broken, duct taped, my feet of stress fractures. This is my new normal, and your mind says if we're not broken, this normal, we got to be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher and tougher and more. How do you want our broken feet? Broken shins. My mind knew this is how we operate. We're Navy SEAL training. This is what we are. I became healed, and that became my new norm. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. I became to love God, but for a short period of time. I became the devil because that was hell. I became the boss, the owner, the CEO of Navy SEAL training. That was my mindset. That's how you get through things. You put yourself, you immerse yourself wherever it is, you become that and give yourself no way. We're on our tours in 97 pounds. That was bad as hell, trying to be a Navy SEAL. The scariest thing in the world to me, even to this day, was what could have been the rest of my life. Working for Ecolab spray for cockroaches, making $1,000 a month. I thought that was me at my 100% potential. Come to find out a few years later, I was anywhere near that. 106 pounds less, graduate Navy SEAL training. We don't do all these other things. Looking back on that, that was me trying hard. That's why people gotta understand what is in us. We have no idea until we start trying hard. I mean really trying hard, but you're obsessed with this is my new norm. My new norm is that wow. This isn't always fun. It's not always meant to be fun. And that's when you know you're trying hard. People hear my story, I think it's guys to distance. I realized how the brain works. I figured out how the brain works on a scared kid. And that's what gives me so much power. I had no foundation, and I built this off of just researching the mind. The feeling you get is basically invincibility. You realize that you can't do it all the time. When you need to do it. I know I can go to a place that I can live in, and when you know that you can run on broken legs, and you can do certain things that a lot of people can't do. But they're not willing to do this power. The sympathetic nervous system of flight, and you're fighting. It gives you this charge of energy of when you're sitting there at 3:34 in the morning and you're duct taping your feet up because they're broken. And you're doing it by yourself, and you're going to arguably one of the hardest training in the world. And these guys, most of them are healthy, and you're going through a broken, and you are at a disadvantage, but you're still there. You can feed into that and tap into that for a lot of power. But if you look at it wrong, a broken man, like I'm not gonna make it, but if you look at it as men are broken and I'm still here, Now fighting will find a way to get through this because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power when things start to suck really, really bad. My brain and a lot of people's brain dump, they'll go to your dad beating you up. Your brain says read out here, this visual. So, anger goes away. A lot of times when you're suffering because your brain just says we got to run. We got to go. So that anger is not popping up saying, oh, I want to show them, I'm going to show those people. No, there has to be a much deeper, you might say deeper. It has to be down to mineral soil, has to be down to that nice mineral soil. Well, nothing can burn. You can't burn dirt. So, has to be down that low. That literally is submenu, that's at the core of your soul. But you don't find it unless you spend a lot of time with what you want to be in life. I can't give that to you, right? You can't give it to somebody. When you find your true passion in life, and my passion for me, when like I want to be a Navy SEALs Army round gift. I want to serve the country I cared about. I want to be someone that I'm proud of. I want to look at myself in the mirror because I was so disappointed, that accountability mirror I talk about. I was so disappointed in what I saw every day. I want everybody to love me, and a lot of people did. I didn't love myself, but I knew a lot of us want to find peace. First, I'm going to say, man, you always talk about this suffering and pain. I'm at peace right now because I wouldn't do that. You don't find peace first. If you do, Merry Christmas, more power to you. More power to you. I found peace on the opposite end, finding myself, and no one really finds himself without going through trials, tribulations, and suffering. Accountability is suffering. Being accountable every day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you. It's measurable. It's hard, so you know, even the smallest details.